I gotta admit, bros got steez. Hey, my name is Nante, and the microplastic we're looking at today is the Takara Tomy MPG-17 Style Gen Optimus Prime. Is this the fourth Optimus Prime Takara Tomy has done? Yes. Do I own too many Optimus Primes in my collection? Perhaps. Should I stop buying Optimus Primes and maybe spend my money diversifying my collection? Don't you ever ask these kinds of questions. Optimus's design is just so timeless and recognizable, and so much of that inspires tons of unique designs and silhouettes and ideas that are all loved by at least one person or another. Everyone has an Optimus Prime design that they are nostalgic for. Yes, even that form. It's a homage to the past with a focus on fun. But today, we're going to be asking, is this in style or just another fad? Let's find out. This thing has a really weird A stance because the hip ratchet's first click is really far out, so it kind of looks a little weird, but you know, that's okay. I really miss when Takara's MP stuff was more on the unique side, so I'm really happy to see that they're kind of taking a lot of independent liberties with the Style Gen line. To start with, his eyes definitely look dead. It's because they tried doing light piping, but I mean, it doesn't really work. It's an old technology that they should just phase out. But it is what it is. I do love the long antenna though. Really giving Studio Aux vibes. But here's another crazy choice. Black chest windows. Usually they're like blue or like a clear plastic of some sort, but here, them being black really washes out his colors. He looks kind of dull in person. I know in like the camera, because there's light beaming from the side, he looks a little bit more vibrant than he should be, but he is actually a very dull looking Optimus Prime. And you'll see that whenever I compare him next to some other G1-esque Optimus Primes. The shoulders are kind of nice. They're kind of weirdly rounded. It's not really something you normally see, but I think it's okay. You know, skinny bicep, big forearms. I like the yellow. Nice little homage to the toy. I don't love that the wrists don't have like a folding mechanism on the side mirrors. I wish it did something, but I think they made it sturdy for transformation, which is, I guess, okay. The chrome is really nice on the grill. It really helps kind of pop the duller colors. The chrome on the smokestacks also help. He's definitely got an Earthrise like chest right here. Long windows, the kind of three-tiered abdomen. It just screams Earthrise. It is 100% ripped from that proportion. Yellow crotch, just like MP10, just like his daddy. He's got some nice silver on the legs. I really like the greebling. I like that there's some extra detail that they included to give it some more personality. Even on the smokestacks right here, there's some extra like ladder detailing. It's really, really nice. The proportions too are actually pretty good. I think the arms could be a little bit bulkier. And, you know, like I said, the A stance looks a little unnatural, but just by itself, the proportions in the legs look pretty good. The feet are a little big, but that's not super obvious whenever you have the blue lining up with the blue in the shins. I do like the color separated. Well, it's not color separated. I think it's painted. But it's nice that it's a different color between the shins and the actual calf. It's really kind of a nice detail to break up some of that dull color. And the feet have a nice little toy color or toy deco homage, which is cool. No die cast, but still has gray on the bottom of the feet. The back is kind of okay. It's not my favorite. I really don't like these shoulders. They kind of just like jut out like fins, which maybe you could justify as like a design choice, but there's definitely space for a hinge fold of some sort. The back too is not super nice looking. It's flat. It's a nice flat profile, which is cool, but I do wish they could have maybe figured out how to get rid of this somehow. Maybe flip it inside out so the red is showing. His butt too is kind of flat, but you know, flat butt cheek Optimus Prime is kind of a standard nowadays. The legs clean up nicely, so I can't complain about that. And I don't know, overall, he's really giving MP10 vibes. MP10 and Earthrise. Those are the two biggest kind of influences I see on this guy. And here's the Prime I was talking about for comparison. This is Magic Square Light Piece Ultra. Here you can definitely tell the reds are a different shade. This one's kind of got like a duller, almost maroon. Well, this one has like a cherry red almost. You can also see they're kind of different heights, at least at like the kind of weird A stance pose I have them. They look like different heights. I'm okay with that, and you can tell the detail is much heavier on this one as opposed to Magic Square's Light Piece. I will say Magic Square Light Piece feels heavier, but the ratchets, I'm really not a fan of the ratchets. They kind of sound like they're on the verge of breaking. On MPG-17, rock solid, very satisfying clicks. And there are better points of ratchets on Magic Sword Light piece, but the solidity of the ratchets feel better here. I also think the hands are much... both of these hands kind of suck. In a fist, these hands look better, but the articulation sucks. In a fist, these don't look very good, but the articulation's better. So yeah, I think these are going for different things, so you can't really directly compare them, but I did want to kind of just put up, I guess, what most people would consider the definitive G1 Optimus, just kind of for comparison, so you can at least see what you're getting into whenever you're maybe choosing between these two. There's no included trailer, which I am very okay with, but you do get some really, really nice accessories. You get an Energon Blaster, you get an Energon Axe, 2 Energon Blades, a nice looking Matrix of Leadership, a convertible shield axe, a multi-purpose weapon storage adapter, and a butt plug. I'm just kidding, it is not a butt plug, it is an MP flight stand adapter that just happens to plug into his butt. The weapons all have really fun gimmicks, and some even have synergies with each other, which is kind of cool. The blaster slots into his hand, of course. It can also be combined with the multi-purpose adapter to create a shoulder cannon. The Energon Axe is nicely detailed, and it works by transforming the hand and revealing a peg. It also pops off for some reason. I don't really know why you would want like this pimple form. The Matrix Leadership is made of die-cast and has some really nice heft to it and nice details. It's actually not symmetrical on both sides, which is kind of a cool detail. And it, of course, plugs right into his chest. The Energon Blades plug into the back of the hands, turning them into Optimus War Crimes. And the shield that is average sized. Some say if it was any bigger, it'd hurt. Which it will when you fold it out all the way to become a battle axe. But if you ever want to put all of it away, every single weapon can be stored on his back, even his butt plug. Is it ugly? Yes. Does it work? Yes. Would I rather them have charged an extra $200 to add an additional trailer, throw all of my accessories in, and not do anything with? Absolutely not. So again, the unique array of accessories really cements how different the philosophy here. I remember when the gray prototype was first revealed, and a lot of people were saying that the design was just kind of another Optimus Prime and yada yada, with nothing really exciting to go with. But with these accessories, it's really apparent that Takara is trying to identify this line as a nice generational blend. There's influence from Bayverse, there's influence from the Netflix series, there's obviously influence from G1, there's some influence from the newer Rise of the Beast movies. You know, there's a lot of really cool inspiration, and you can kind of see where every single part comes from. You can kind of identify every single part, especially if you're an older guy like me. And the accessories too are just all really nicely detailed, which is a nice contrast to the duller colors in this guy. And it all really, really adds to his playability and articulation. His head is on a ball joint. He's got ratcheted shoulder rotation, goes out 90, pull out butterfly joint, a bicep swivel, elbow swivel, great double jointed elbow, wrist swivel with some side to side, double hinge on the index, double hinge on the connected fingers. I'm not really a fan of the hands. They don't really look natural when gripping things, and this thumb is just straight up ugly. Waist swivel and an ab crunch from Takara in this economy goes backwards as well. Legs are nicely ratcheted, so they move forward that far. The side skirt and butt flap move. Legs kick backwards that far and really far out to the side. Knees can move on one click forward and decently far backwards on a single hinge. They also must have been smoking some good stuff because the gas tank is on a swivel too. Foot drops down to get a foot forward, backwards, swivel, an excellent ankle pivot, and some toe articulation. So there's no die cast, and he feels kind of hollow, but rest assured this guy is rock solid. Some of the tabs don't plug in securely, like this one. If you rotate the knee, it kind of pops out, but that might just be on my copy. But besides that, man, the engineering is just so much fun to play with. The foot articulation especially I'm impressed by, and also, yeah, these calf panels tend to pop out if you move things around too much, but that's okay. But he's so dynamic. I mean, look at this. Like, I'm just saying, I don't think MP10 can do this. And if you're a photography kind of person where you like taking advantage of the weirdness of the hollowness and getting the angles just right, just to kind of get him into a cool pose and snap that photo, you will have a ton of fun with this guy. Like, he is so dynamic. And the simple engineering too makes him really intuitive to move around. And now, move him into a truck I will. And transforming this thing is just so much fun. Normally, I speed this part up by like 1,000%, but you'll notice you can actually see me transforming this at a relatively steady rate. And that's because this thing is actually intuitive and it's actually fun. And it's just so refreshing to have an MP Optimus that isn't a nightmare to transform.
Dante, they have to be complicated to be animation accurate. Obviously, in real life, cars don't turn into robots. But if they did, it would be very complicated. So really, Michael Bay was right all along. Just get going to learn how to transform your toys and stop complicating and being so unrealistic.
Okay, who the hell are you?
Oh, I represent the typical Transformers fan. Always complaining, never happy, still buys it anyways because I'm a shill, you know.
I mean, you certainly fit the description.
But I do it out of love for Transformers, and I would just love to have a perfect toy for Takara.
But you just said stop being unrealistic. So anyways, here is the truck mode, and I have to say, I think this is a pretty good truck. It's not perfect, of course, no Optimus Prime ever turns into a real truck, right? But I think this is kind of checking all of the boxes that I'm looking for. I'd say this truck mode's honestly like a 4 out of 5. It's pretty good. So with the cab, we've got this really nice chrome on the bumper and the grille, very eye-popping, especially in contrast to the duller colors. The silver is nicely painted. It's got nice detail on the cab. We got some extra dots right here. We got silver hydraulics, vent, mirrors. I really, really like that. Painted yellow for the the cab lights. The black windows, I think, really, really work here. It kind of gives it more like a low-key vibe, which is, you know, makes a lot of sense for robots in disguise, you know. So I really like that. Even got some clear plastic for the headlights. I'm a big fan of that. The side profile, we'll get to this in a little bit. I really like the wheels. They're plastic, but it rolls no problem. I like the details in the gas tank, kind of the ladder design. I like that it protrudes out from the leg, giving it a less obvious leg look. And then in the back here, we've got this like hydraulic pump kind of design. I like that. I'm a big fan of that because I like that they included that as a detail. This back right here, it's nice that it's flat in profile, but I don't think the colors work very well, but you know, it is what it is. They kept it simple, and that's going to be kind of very obvious with these feet. They try to keep it really simple. The trade-off is that they are there, and I understand that they fit a lot of articulation to the feet, so you know, them being a little bit bigger is kind of okay, I guess. But it really looks kind of like it looks like he has Sasquatch feet, but in robot mode, it doesn't look like that. But when you just look at it like this, it kind of looks like his feet are massive. And I think that's okay. It's not a big deal. I still really like this truck mode. I think it's fun. The transformation really sells me on it being okay that it's kind of simplistic. And, you know, it's compatible with the MP44 trailer if you have one of those. I do not. So instead, you can put all of the accessories on the back. Yep. That is super ugly, but you know, at least it's there. And here it is next to Magic Square's Light of Peace. This is not meant to be a, you know, oh, I like this one better kind of comparison. It's very apples to oranges. Yes, it's still Optimus Prime, but it's kind of more to give you a sense of just how different it is. Even the smokestacks are very different. They're so big on this one. I just like, Jesus Christ, they're like thick. Truck bed is much longer because of the feet. The feet hanging off really extends this thing out. And like I said, I like the detail on this one. The reds, of course, are very bright on Magic Square Light of Peace. I like the filled in side right here a little bit more. It's a little bit gappy, but that's okay. But yeah, again, it's not meant to be a I like this one more kind of thing. It's just kind of meant to be a you see with your eyes, you see how different they are. It is what it is. So yeah, it's a pretty good truck. It's got an intuitive transformation and an extremely fun robot mode. But of all the Optimus Primes you can get, I think this guy is kind of the most dependent on what you value. Since it's not definitive in any way, it really is a one-off purchase. If you're trying to fit him into literally any cartoon, comic, movie, accurate, whatever, blah, blah, blah collection, it's just not gonna work. It's not based on any one series, and it's incredibly stylized. But I think if you value bang for buck, I'd still say this isn't really it either, since the price is about 200 bucks here in the US. And for me personally, I got it from Japan, so it ended up being 120 plus like shipping, so maybe another 20 bucks. So 140 kind of feels like the sweet spot for me. It's that, at that price, I think it's an easy recommendation. Because at $200, you're competing with a lot of stuff that will kind of cater to exactly what you want. You know, if you want the most accurate G1 chug scale figure, you've got 86 Prime. If you want an accurate MP scale, you've got Magic Square or MP44. If you want a Legend ones, you got David, you got Magic Square. You know, there's just so many options for exactly what you're looking for. I mean, Masterpiece, Bumblebee movie, blah, blah, Bayverse, blah, you know, all that stuff. So I think if you've been waiting to replace your MP10 in your collection, this is the time. To me, MP10 is not accurate, you know, to like a movie or anything, so it's not like that really matters. But I think this kind of is the spiritual successor to MP10 in my eyes, which I appreciate. Or if you're tired of the oversaturated market of G1 Optimus Primes that are all flat and bland and don't really have a lot of personality, then this might be for you. Or if you're just excited for the Nostalgia line because you like the simple transformation philosophy with a focus on fun, posability, vehicle play, weapons, all that stuff, then this will definitely be for you. In the sea of Optimus Primes, this still somehow manages to find its own sense of style. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you liked my review and you want to see more reviews on mecha, superhero, anime, and Transformers, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.